Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews with developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this week's episode, here's your Spotlight. We now move on to that Spotlight segment, or the in the news, whichever way you want to call it. And we're talking about that Qualcomm, the big guys out there providing all the new chips for the phones and all that. And so every year, Qualcomm does this summit in Maui, Hawaii, where they showcase their latest iteration of the Qualcomm chip. And we've got a couple this year, don't we, John and Karen and Sally? We've got the Series 5 or 8 Gen 5 series. We got the Elite and the regular 8 Gen 5. Is Qualcomm now kind of confusing us, or what's the deal with the 8 Gen 5 and 8 Gen 5 Elite or whatever? I don't think I'm even saying it right.
So as far as I know, the mobile processor is just called the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. They're not calling it Elite anymore. I think the Elite is I don't know about on the Windows side of things, like for laptops. I think they're calling those like the Elite Extreme or something now. I don't know. It's getting crazy over here. But at least on the Android side, as far as I know, it's just Gen 5 now. So the Elite, even though it wasn't called Gen 4, we can count that as Gen 4.
Yeah, so you got the Elite and then you got the regular one. So some phones are coming out with those, and the Chinese phones are always the ones that jump on those. Of course, Samsung always does as well, but because theirs would come later on, usually the likes of Xiaomi or some of the Apple brands would be the ones to showcase that, or maybe OnePlus. And they'll be the ones that jump on it first and letting people know, hey, look at what we've got. Now, frankly, looking back on all of these things, you know how it used to be back then that everybody was using the Qualcomm chip, Google. So whether it was Google or Samsung, it was all the same Qualcomm chip and all of that, until, of course, Google branched out into the Tensor chip and all of that. For me, I think that it was a good thing that Google did what it did by going to the Tensor chip, and it now forces Qualcomm to do some of the things that we've always wanted. For example, we wanted longer support, like OS support, because the complaint back then was that, we don't have control over the Qualcomm chips, and so that's why we were only giving you guys 2 years of OS updates and all of that. And so when Google came out with the Tensor chip, especially with the 7 Pixel 7, was that when we started having the 7-year OS update. And now I think that's a good thing, because it has forced Qualcomm to rethink its position. And now looking at all the AI thing that we have, on device. And that's why I like the Google Tensor, making it possible for others to do the same thing. So it's a good thing. What do you guys think about Qualcomm's tech? Because now we're getting the same idea with all these chips that they have.
I mean, it did get us longer support, like you said. However, I think now that Google's taking care of that, they should go back to using Qualcomm chips. I just don't like the Tensor. I just don't.
I actually like the Tensor chip, to be honest, because, and here's why. I think it makes it possible for Google to keep things working fine together, because we always talk about Fruitvale and how, Fruitvale works seamlessly because the chip is from them. And so if you have your own chip, my argument is that you have a better control on how your things integrate with each other and work together. So I think I prefer Google working with its own chip.
Yeah, but if I'm paying the same price for the phones, the Google phones, I'm getting less capable chips and less capable devices. So that wouldn't make sense. I mean, yeah, it's good to try. It's good to do the tests they want and to showcase what they can improve. How can they integrate stuff together? But I think the end product isn't what people want. At least if you compare, and John already did it before. I mean, we don't need to check the benchmarks or anything. We just have the just simple test that John made when he was doing something with Audiolab. He was rendering that video, and it was like easily. It was easily beaten by the Snapdragon Elite. So I don't think that if I'm paying the same price, I want to get something which can be compared to last year's. And now I can say that it's not last year because we have now the new chip, but it's just compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. But why to let the consumer get this?
Well, like I said, though, I think the whole problem is not necessarily because this one performs faster. Of course, it can. The Qualcomm chip will always perform faster, but with the Tensor, there's a better integration with the Google apps. You have a better experience, and this is something that people would agree to disagree on. But for me, frankly, I prefer the whole thing coming from the same company, and this is what gives Apple the leg up, because everything is in-house, everything is together. And so if you're going to do something and you make things work at the OS level or make things work together seamlessly, it trumps everything, in my opinion, because you have a proper control over it. I mean, just look at the updates and all of that. There's an update, it's out there for the Pixel phones and all of that. And yet, if you're having someone else, it just takes a little while. And besides, if we have the same chip all over the place, it kind of becomes boring. And now, what do we want to get? What are we looking for? Are we looking for how the shape of the phone is?
Now.
So
yeah,
I kind of prefer Google staying with the Tensor chip than having the same Qualcomm chip, because then there's nothing different.
But you can't say it's that the getting updates every month is because they use their own chip, because the Pixel did that before, even when they used Snapdragon.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in general, though, because at least the software on Google is at least going alongside with what they have with their chip and all of that. But yeah, they used to do the updates as well, but then we didn't have that 7-year OS update, and now they did that, and now Qualcomm is doing the same thing. Okay, we want to be. My whole point is that with Google branching onto its own, it forces Qualcomm to do something better, which is actually better for the consumer when you look at it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but you shouldn't forget that we have also MediaTek, which is proving to be a competitor, and it's able to show a competitive results when you compare it to what you have from Qualcomm. So I think that MediaTek is also improving, and already many phones are using Qualcomm. Are using MediaTek processors, and also Samsung is going to show us the new Exynos chip. I think it will be with the S26 series. So also we'll see what they will offer.
Yeah, I actually bought a MediaTek device this past week, or a couple days ago, believe it or not.
What did you get?
Uh-huh.
John
boy.
It was the S11, the Tab S11.
The newly released one, you mean?
Yeah. The Samsung ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have it yet, but I ordered it. It should be here next week.
So listeners, stay tuned. We will have a review soon.
Exactly. So, but
Maybe.
you see that goes to buttress what I was talking about. It's good to have these different chips, because competition is really nice because if you don't like what Google is doing with this tensor chip, you could have a MediaTek device, a MediaTek powered device, or you could have an Exynos powered device or a Qualcomm powered device. So I really like where we are in Android. It would just be just overly boring if all we had was just one thing. Because you remember back then in those days, like I kept saying, the only thing that made the difference was the shape of the phone. Of course, they were all plastic. Anyone remember those days when we had all of that? The S4s, the S5s, and all of that. They were all running the same chip, whether you got the Google Nexus or whatever. They were all from the same Qualcomm chip. And the only differentiating thing was the shape of the phone or the type of the plastic that the phone was built from. And it kind of was looking boring, but I'm glad we have MediaTek there and we have the Exynos as well. Wasn't there another one though, like a Chinese one, but maybe for very, very low phones? What was that thing? Unisoc, right? Is that a chip from China, right, guys?
We got Unisoc and also Kirin for Huawei phones.
Yeah, so this is why I kind of like the land that we have, or the Android land that we have. There's no end in sight. So for me, different chips, the better it is. Talking about chips and phones and all of that, Xiaomi is in the mix, right? John and Karin, Xiaomi kind of is not wanting to be left behind. They came up with something new. And John, you want to talk about what's new? We got something new. We don't have a Xiaomi 16, but we got
I'll
something new.
talk about why there is no 16. So apparently, and they've even admitted this, but Xiaomi has skipped 16 so that they can be in line with Apple's current version. So because the iPhone 17 came out, they wanted the Xiaomi 17 to be out the same year.
I think, John, that's why they made Pro Max model. Like
And
they didn't have something like that before, and I have Pro and Pro Max. I don't know what's
Yeah,
the deal with it.
even named them Pro and Pro Max now. And
Yeah.
my thinking is, if you're gonna lie and skip a number, why not skip two numbers? Why not just say this is the 18 and then you'll
Yeah.
be ahead of Apple?
I don't think that was a good move. I mean, yeah, that's my opinion.
Well, for Xiaomi, though, they say they don't want people to think that they are behind Apple. If they have 16, it'll confuse people, giving the people the impression that Apple is ahead of them technologically.
Yep.
And so we want to be on the same page.
In that sense, is Samsung like 9 years ahead of those?
Yeah, exactly. Apple next year is not going to have an iPhone 18 just because of this, right? So Apple just lets everybody copy them. Like now, everybody's phones have flat sides because the iPhone had flat sides, and now rumor are next year Apple's going back to like rounded edges. So it's like they just wait for everybody to copy them, and then they go do something else.
Oh my goodness.
They're like
Yeah,
the cool kid at school. It's only cool until everybody starts doing it. Then you have to start a new trend.
but what I like about the Xiaomi phones, though, especially the 17 series, is that the battery is massive. And I think like the base model has like a 7,000 milliamp battery. And then the Pro, for some reason, is 6,300 milliamp. And then 7,500 for the Pro Max. I just don't understand it. I thought that the regular one and the Pro, the same size, 6.3
I
inch.
think the Pro one or one of them will not be internationally shipped. So this is what the rumors said. I was reading on the internet, but yeah, one of them is not gonna be international.
So it will be the regular 7 that may not be international, or maybe the Pro Max, because if the Pro Max has 7,500, why wouldn't they let people have it internationally? I would love to have a phone with such a big battery.
Yeah, that's really, I don't know why, but yeah, maybe I'm mistaken, but this is what I was reading earlier today.
Yeah, and we should mention, since we were talking about processors earlier, these do have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 guess they're one of the first, if not the first, to have this chip.
Mhm.
And the Pro models have a screen on the back now.
Yeah.
So it's where you would think of like the camera bar being. There's a screen now with the cameras cut out of it, similar to what you would find on like a flip phone, how they have a screen on the front with like the cameras cut out into the screen. So that's how it is on the back of these Pro phones now. And it's just a small screen, but you can use it for widgets and that sort of thing, similar to what you would use the front screen on a flip phone for. But whether or not that screen is accessible at all, I guess we'll have to wait and see. My bet would be no, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
cynical when it comes to this stuff.
So the funny
So we
thing
will
is,
wait until John gets the phone and he will tell us.
I can't get it in my country,
well,
unfortunately.
you probably could get it on the
Oh.
zone.
I mean, I can
No?
get it, but I want it to work on my carriers like fully. You know, like I don't
Well,
want to have to use.
I don't
4G.
think you guys gonna have it in the
No, I
US.
think it will still work on your carrier, though. I think Xiaomi probably covers most of the radios. I'm almost positive that it'll work on your carrier. It's just that you have to get it from the zone, Amazon. But the other thing that I like about it that I was reading is that you can actually use the screen on the back to even take a selfie using the rear camera. So
Interesting.
that's really interesting.
You know, that's not related to this, but I've seen people doing like mainstream videos of the Pixel, like non-accessibility related. Like people have been using guided frame to take selfies with their Pixel, with the main camera. Since they can't see the screen, they're just like turning it on and using it that way.
Oh, that's very nice, though.
I like that. It's a
Yeah.
good sounding thing to me. Yeah. So you got the then we have the T series from Xiaomi, right? So
Yeah, that's what
Xiaomi
it was going.
is not.
What I was going to say. Like you release 17, and in the same breath you release 15T and 15T Pro. I mean, what's 15? What's 17? Yeah.
Well,
Green's gonna tell us all
Yeah, but the
about
prices are
15T.
different. I mean, they are cheaper. So
oh yeah, the prices are excellent.
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't buy Xiaomi again. I don't know, but I wouldn't buy Xiaomi again because they're really like aggressive with the battery saving and all the accessibility services that you're using. They are just disappearing over time, and this is not nice from Xiaomi. I mean, you got a big battery, but you're still being aggressive for the background services. Imagine you're using an accessibility service. It could be, say, TalkBack or anything else. After some time, you find yourself you have no speech at all because it's disabled by Xiaomi to save battery.
Talking about prices, Karen, you want to talk about the prices? Because I know that even the Pro Max, it's not even like $900, right? It's like 800 something dollars. So just imagine that.
well, are you sure about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what I
not.
was
It's
saying
not
because
costly.
it's like $850 for the Pro Max. The regular one, regular 17 vanilla model, is like 600 and something, and it goes up there to $850. Now we're talking of the latest Qualcomm chip.
Well,
What
usually
kind of dollars are you
Xiaomi.
talking? Because it's not US dollars.
So the Pro Max is gonna be $720.
In what though? It's not even sold in the US.
No, it's not sold in the US, but
It's
that's
like
the equivalent.
euros. Sorry, euros.
Yeah,
It's euros.
the
Yeah,
equivalence in the US dollars is what we're talking about.
almost like it's gonna be $800 or something like that. So
Close enough. Yeah.
Well, according to GSM Arena, the price of the Pro is 600 euros, which is, I think it's great.
yeah, but still,
Yeah, that's about $650.
I'm not convinced. I don't know why. I'm not going for Xiaomi.
Well, for a person who is not blind, this won't be a problem. And also, have you tried it? I mean, have you tried a Xiaomi device, which is a high-end one? Maybe
Yeah,
they do this.
Yeah, my friend tried in 15 with a flagship one, and this is still going on. Like they are killing the accessibility services.
Well, interesting.
But
Yeah.
would they be killing the screen reader though? I don't think they would be killing
Didn't
the
Ed
screen
have
reader,
one
would
and
they?
he said it had problems with the Braille keyboard? Was that a Xiaomi he was talking about?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Xiaomi 12 or something.
Yeah.
Xiaomi, yeah.
That's why I'm not getting it.
I'm not going to get that one. And also, for years and years, guys, we should be talking about is that what Xiaomi has a problem is the proximity sensor. Like from 10 to at least 15, it has issues. Like the proximity sensor when you're holding the phone in your ear, like you're touching a lot of places in the same time and you're having issues. Maybe you're dialing numbers or you're sending text messages to someone while you're on the call, and that proximity sensor issue is there for years, and I think it's gonna stay. Hope they fixed it for the 17 though.
Well, virtual proximity sensors don't work as you intended. So, for that reason, Samsung also has issues. I mean, maybe not the same as Xiaomi, but usually when you have a proximity sensor which is virtual, which is not really a proximity sensor.
We compared my 25 Plus and Xiaomi 15. The like critical issues of Xiaomi's proximity sensor is still going on, but in my case, Samsung is doing way better. He's doing a lot of unintentional touches while talking on the phone, and yeah, this is not nice from Xiaomi at all. I mean, the phones are okay, the prices are okay, but maybe something is maybe we are sacrificing, and this is one of that, I guess.
But you know, that boils down to what I was talking about earlier: software, software, software. Because if the software is not good, it doesn't matter what the quality of the phone is. It could be built of gold, but if you got bad software, it's no bueno. Because I don't care how great the phone is, how powerful the chip is. It all boils down to software.
Exactly, Warren. This is what me and my dear brother Warren. We are handsome, but we also know, like, we have some knowledge too, right?
And this is
Exactly.
why most of us stay away from Pixels because of the software.
Doggone you, John.
So we can't agree on that.
Seriously, so I think it's the software from Xiaomi that's not good. The phones
Yeah.
otherwise could be a great phone, but if you're not giving a great phone a great software, then in my never to be humble opinion, it's just nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Well, in software wise, they've gone even worse with the Hyper OS, and the aggression for the battery saving is like really a big deal. For those who want to run apps in the background, you always have troubles running them. Like no matter what you do, you're locking them in your taskbar in your recent apps, or you let them all the permissions. You grant all the permissions, but still nothing. At least that was the case until 15.
Interesting. You mentioned something about, if someone is on the phone call, for example, and you could hear touches and all of that. For me, though, when I'm on a phone, I don't know about you guys. I usually, switch my screen off. I don't know why people leave their screen off.
Yeah,
while they're
exactly.
on a phone call, but
Maybe
it wouldn't be a problem.
I do that as well.
maybe they want to use the power button to end the call. So
Yeah,
that's the
true.
thing, I guess.
Oh yeah, I never,
That is an option.
that's the problem I had until I went and disabled that in Samsung phone when I tried using it as a regular phone. I kept hanging people off because
You would,
I'm trying
you
to
would
shut
answer
up
it and then hang it up immediately and
Oh,
start
damn.
talking and be like,
Yeah.
where are they?
Oh, I felt really stupid, and so I never liked using that power button to end calls. I just never liked that feature. I've never used it.
Yeah, I have on my Samsung phone, I use the volume up to answer the call, and then I don't have the power button set to end the call. So that way I can, like, when I do get a call, I just hit volume up and then I hit the power key to turn the screen off, and then I'm set.
Exactly. I don't like leaving my screen on while I'm on a phone call. I don't know why I do that, but I'd never left my screen on while I'm talking on the phone.